Now, our next performer is originally from Montreal. Of course, she knew she had to leave this godforsaken place to become successful, which she did, gathering numerous recurring roles on television and her very own talk show. Please welcome the very funny Caroline Rhea.
It's Basil Fawlty. Remember? Who won the Bloody War? Remember when he did? All right, never mind. It's very exciting for me. Okay, first of all, you're very happy that you're inside because it's giant monsoon raining outside, okay? What happened? Did like some construction worker tell Mother Nature she had a fat ass and that's it, we're screwed for the rest of our lives? Anyway, I was just in Alaska for people who don't believe in global warming. The glaciers are like this big, seriously. There's like polar bears like, here. How are you? It's just like being at a WASP orgy. You're quiet and unable to express any pleasure. You're just so Canadian, I can't even take it. But I'm Canadian too. I am. I'm from here. Okay. Thank you. It's so nice to be back in liberal Canada. I'm in Westmount. I'm walking down Green Avenue and I see this irate Anglophone going like this. English! 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 I know what he's doing. You know, when I grew up in Canada, I thought bronze was the highest medal that you could get in the Olympics. I'm serious. Yeah. Years later, I felt bad for the Americans. I'm like, oh, you got a gold. Sorry. You know, of course, I was brought up to be an honest Canadian, unless I crossed the border and I was wearing 7 pairs of underwear, all new clothes, and no tags. Nothing to declare. Shredding the receipts. My mother is, you know, my mother's a nice Canadian woman who writes to the Globe and Mail and corrects all their typos every day. And my mother's bridge group is so catty, they all wear catheters for fear of leaving the room and being talked about. It's very scary. I have a brand new baby. Isn't that exciting? I know. I look pretty good for a woman with a 2.5-month-old, don't I? Don't you think? Yeah? Yeah. She's 9 months old. But her name is Ava Ray Economopoulos. I know. So I've already explained to her that the Economopoulos is silent. No, that's a horrible name, don't you think? Seriously. And names are tricky. First of all, my boyfriend's Greek, so if I'd had a boy, his name would have had to have been Vasilis, which sounds like it could be cleared up with antibiotics. And like, oh, you got a little Vasilis. Got to be careful. Yeah. But if I had if I had a boy and his name was Vasilis, I was going to make his middle name be Diller. Don't you think that would be good? Vasilis Diller. Anyone over 40? No. Okay. You know, I'm breastfeeding, so when I say that I'm pumped to be here tonight, I truly mean it. I really do. I'm so in love with my baby. The other day, while she was breastfeeding, I was sucking on her toes, which is like 69 for new mothers. And oh, I'm sorry, you're not grossed out? Okay, good. There's so much pressure to breastfeed. It's unbelievable when you're at the hospital. This is how they ask you if you're gonna breastfeed. Do you love your baby? You're like, and then the baby watches Little Corn on the Cob eating videos in utero, because it's like, it's unbelievable. I put all of my sonograms on a website and I called it My Tubes. But, it's so tricky when you're picking a name. First of all, I wanted to name her Emmy, because I've always wanted an Emmy. And I've never wanted a Gemini. I'm sorry, they're a difficult sign. I wasn't being mean to the country. And there's, no, but your name is so important. Like, I have a friend who's from South America, and his name is Joaquin, but he wants to fit in and have it, like, be Americanized. So he's like, my name is Joaquin, but you can call me Jackie. That would be so hard to always try and fit in. Like, if you moved to an Arab country, that would be so hard. My name is Caroline, but you can call me Halaba. It was, when I walk through the airport, this is what it's like. Literally, I walk through the airport and people go, oh my God, there's what's her face? And I'm like, thank you. I'll take that. Or they go, oh my God, Charlotte Rae. Charlotte Rae is 86 and she was Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life. Yeah. Or they go, oh my God, Rachel Ray, and she's that saucy little drunken pirate chef who's this big, okay? Doesn't it look like she's always gonna crush a beer can on her head at the end of the recipe? Arr! Oh my God, it's Rhea Perlman. Now, I got pulled over in security. Okay, literally, it was me and a woman who had she was 88 and she had a replaced hip, and then another woman who had the biggest boob job you've ever seen and tons of Botox. I wonder why they pulled her over, right? And I'm like, well, admittedly, I got pulled over because the breast pump does look like a bomb. But anyway, I'm like, yeah, we're the new face of Al-Qaeda, right here, seriously. No, shoot her in the hip. She's gonna just keep going, honestly. Shoot her in the boobs, it's gonna bounce right off, right back in your eye. And I'm gonna lactate all over you. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Who's been married the longest in the whole room? It has to be a couple, I'm just telling you right now. Who? Who do you think? Throw out a number. Live television, people, anytime. All right, I'll make up a number. 35, really? Okay. Anyone? No, who's been married a long time? 65? It's not even possible. How is that possible? Seriously, 65 years? 55. Not you. You're not even 55. What were you, sold at birth? What is that? She's 8 pounds, 12 ounces, and she's all yours. No, what? That's crazy. You've been married 55 years? No. I know. Oh, I know, you're pointing at another person. I don't have a lazy eye. I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at him. What's wrong? I see that you're pointing. Okay. Sir, you've been really married 55 years? Over 55 years. And you don't want to say a number because that'll make you seem old, but 55 is okay? All right, okay. 55 is good. We'll leave it at that. I love couples who've been married that long because there's only one designated speaker in the relationship. Have you noticed that? You can look a man right in the eye. Sir, how old are you? He's 59! He hasn't spoken since 1987. What do you need to know? Here's a list of his medications. He poops on Tuesdays. What else? Seriously. And then I feel really bad for these couples who've been married 50 years and Viagra came along. The woman must have been like, I'm sorry, it does what? That's hilarious. Give me those. They're going right in the toilet. Don't be ridiculous. No. No, get that thing away from me. Absolutely. No, I won't take my teeth out. What has gotten into you? What are you thinking? Honestly, I don't understand Viagra. I like pie, but I don't want to eat it for 4.5 hours. You know what I mean? 1 piece of pie, that was delicious. 2 pieces of pie, I'm feeling piggy. 4.5 hours, put the pie away! I don't care if it's your birthday. My boyfriend is so sensitive. You know, I know you think that's good to have a sensitive boyfriend, but it's really not, because every time your boyfriend or your husband says to you, you know, you really hurt my feelings by what you said, part of you goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But 99% of you goes, you just really hurt my feelings. Why might you say that? Who's a big pussy? You are. Who's the pussy cat? Who's the pussy? Pussy! Trying to spice things up with my boyfriend. He doesn't understand that the libido is in the placenta and that's removed at birth. So, yeah. And the really smart mammals eat there, so it's never seen again. But men are just like, what? Horrifying. But, you know, at the beginning of a relationship, you try and be sexy, you know, try. Then towards now, all I want to do is make him laugh. You know what I mean? Like I'll lie in the bed with my giant muffin top and go, all for you. Or I'll be naked and I'll come in with the remote control stuck under my boob. Find it. No. He asked me to read him some porno the other day, because I've got such a good voice for that, don't I? I could make anything sound unsexy. I'd be like, what do you mean you have a package for me? You want to put your package in my box? I have a doorman, okay? Leave it there. Anyway, he asked me to read him porno, and I was wearing my reading glasses, and which, by the way, I thought my baby had a giant head. My mother's like, take off your reading glasses. Anyway, I've got my reading glasses, and he goes, he hands me like some porno thing to read. And he goes, honey, can you take them off? Yeah, well, I can't see without them. He goes, yeah, but you look like Mrs. Claus. I'm like, thanks. It's what every woman dreams of hearing in a bedroom. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. So I'm reading it, I'm like, and then Miranda said, I want to sock your big hand. Hard, sorry, big hard, thrabbing clock. Anything, honey? No? Okay. You know, some celebrities are very intimidating. I'm the kind of celebrity where fans eventually say to me, I've got to go. I'm very chatty. I love talking to people. I used to have these extensions in my hair. I thought they looked really natural. They were like complete hooker hair. But anyway, I had them in my hair and I was gambling. And of course, I talked to the guy next to me. I'm like, where are you from? And he's like, India. And I'm like, oh my God, my hair is from India. If you're a hairdresser, it's so funny, that joke. If not, apparently not at all. Okay. Now, I went to a big fancy college, the University of Arizona, and okay, that's maybe the worst school in America, but thank you for being so Canadian and going, really, how did you get in? Okay. You're so easily pleased. Anyway, no, I didn't graduate from there because no one ever has. And when you go in a job interview, they're like, you have a BA, of course. Yes, and I have a big ass, so why lie? But anyway, don't you love it when the Americans used to be so like condescending to us, and now, jokes on them, we have all the oil. Anyway, all right. So, I'm taking this woman home with me. All right. So one of the jobs I had, I was a cater waiter. Do you know what that is? Whatever. You go to an event and someone's there, an overpass over. I was a cater waiter. And it had to happen sooner or later. Okay. Anyway. Once I saw an alligator. All right, I'll stop. Okay. So I had this crazy job. It was set up out in the middle of the desert on a picnic table. I had to cater for the Prince and Princess of Japan. This is completely true, okay? And I was just standing out in the desert. I was the waitress, and they said, whatever you do, don't touch any member of the royal family. And of course, because I'm an Aries, I was like, like all I wanted to do was touch them. I'm not allowed. Okay, so all of a sudden, at the end of the meal, the little princess of Japan, tiny woman, look at the pole. This is how thin she is. Look at my hair. Look at the pole. This is her. Everybody, look, okay? Are you looking? Her. Okay, good. Focus back to me now. All right. So all of a sudden, at the end of the meal, the Princess of Japan looks over at me, and I'm standing there, little Miss Canadian, and she goes like this. Whore? What is that? Whore. Whore. I'm like, why is the Princess of Japan calling me a whore? And how does she know? Really. I was so not a whore. I had like one good week in college. Anyway, so she goes, I'm like, so, you know, we're so Canadian, we're so polite. So I go, okay. So she calls me over, and she has like a piece of peach in her hand. And she's holding the peach up, and she goes like this. Whore. But she's now referring to me as, you know. Whore eat a fruit. And she's holding the peach up to my mouth, and I'm like, why is she trying to feed me? So she keeps going, whore eat fruit. And I'm like lowering my mouth to the fruit. I'm like, and I'm thinking, you're not allowed to touch them, but you can lick their palms. It's such a weird culture. And I'm like this close. I literally am about to retrieve the peach. I'm like, oh, it smells good. And then she pulls her hand away and she goes, who eat a fruit? And I'm like, who is trying to eat fruit? Princess is a moving hand. And then she points and she goes, whore. And I'm like, oh, get it, what? And behind me is like a guy, a policeman on a horse. A horse. Can you imagine? It would have been like a horrible international incident. Giant Canadian girl eats princess. Totally ridiculous. And then she goes like this, we all ride whore? I'm like, I'm getting minimum wage. You and one other person. Okay? She's so sweet. She reminds me. There's always one person in the audience who like laughs harder and gets every joke that I have. And inevitably, I'm like this. Sir, where are you from? I don't speak English. You're funny, like a clown. Thank you very much, everybody. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Caroline Rhea. Come on back, you funny woman.